Microscopic Lust. Chapter 6. The road condition that was starting to get entirely made Helen get to that place faster than when she left for the first time. She did not feel annoyed or disturbed when she had to take her prospective stepsister home first. Helena would undoubtedly do the same with her other friends. Helena turned off her car engine. She grabbed her bag and got off. Even though they had been dating for a long time, Ursula and Helena didn't have the habit of welcoming each other at the door. They come and go as they please. No one is obligated to escort each other. In professional life, they must be polite and full of manners every day. So, only in each other can they find the opportunity not to have to be sweet when they don't want to. After locking the car, Helena entered the house. She closed the main door behind her. Her eyes scanned the entire floor below. She strolled up the stairs and found her lover standing on the balcony. She drew closer to Ursula and hugged her from behind. You've come," Ursula whispered. Helena pressed her cheek against Ursula's back while she wrapped her arms around the waist of the woman in front of her. "I miss you." Helena kissed Ursula's shoulder, then turned her lover's body so that they could see each other. Ursula smiled. She lifted Helena's chin. She brought that beautiful face close to her so that Ursula's lips could feel the smell of chewing gum and cigarette residue from Helena's lips. They kissed softly for a few seconds before Helena broke free. "You're good at flirting. I can make you praise me more often." "Here." Ursula kissed her lover again. Now the movement is faster. She played her tongue deeper in her partner's mouth. Helena could do nothing but pull Ursula's body closer. She massaged Ursula's back so passionately that the two women groaned in their own created discomfort. "Let's go to the room," Ursula asked. Helena didn't answer. Helena was still focused on their kiss. Hey, calm down, you might run out of breath at this." Ursula was a bit taken aback, considering how long it had been the last time they had kissed in this way. Usually, Helena just kissed her. Their kisses are always full of passion. However, it was never like this. "Are you okay, Helena?" Ursula asked. "I also want to ask you the same thing," said Helena with still ragged breaths. "What's wrong with you? Why are you so attractive tonight? What's different about you? Are you new to treatment? Is your perfume new? What's different? Tell me now," Helena commented impatiently. Then she couldn't stop herself from clinging back to Ursula. "Here, Ursula. Kiss me." Helena went from Ursula's lips to her opponent's neck. Helena sucked at her girlfriend's neck, probably leaving a red mark. She didn't care. "Helena, don't make it red there. I don't want my students to see. You can wear heavy makeup or a scarf, I don't care." Helena cornered Ursula's body against the balcony railing. The cold wind blew Ursula's back and attacked her with a higher passion than before. "Oh, Helena. Let's go into the room." "I can't help myself. I can tear your clothes right here," Ursula threatens. "Tear it if you want." Helena then crouched in front of Ursula. She supported one leg of her lover on her shoulder. "What are you doing, Helena?" Ursula panicked when Helena pulled her pants down. "What do I do?" Helena lifted Ursula's calf over her shoulder and started kissing Ursula. "Do you want me to stop? You do not like?" T. "Just continue. No one saw. No one saw us." Ursula tried not to scream. She tried not to meow, let alone roar. Anyone can hear and see them. They never do this out in the open area. Helena is still down there. Whenever the opportunity arose, she would suck and play with her tongue. Ursula couldn't do much but enjoy. Her hands gripped the balcony railing. "Yes, Helena. Honey. Don't stop. I'm close." Let's go inside, Helena teased. She looked up to see her lover, who was nowhere to be found. Ursula, who didn't accept the end of her pleasure, pulled Helena's hair and pressed her head closer. I'll be there in a bit. After that, you can do anything. I do not care. But, I will, Helena. Ursula's body stiffened. For a moment, her knees began to tremble. Helena smiled down there. She stood up and kissed Ursula's lips so she could feel her scent. We should do that more often. Helena clings to her lover, she is not satisfied, and she will ask for her rights in a moment. She took off her underwear. And throw it away. I agree. You haven't been like this in a long time. Back then, you were wild like this. Looks like I've got my old Helena again. Ursula showers Helena with kisses. Her finger moved down. You're so wet, honey. I know. Are you okay? Because I'll be against you if you don't get down there soon, Helena threatened. Her deep voice tickled Ursula's ears. Ursula tied her dreadlocks and pulled Helena to sit on a chair. Spread your legs, Ursula ordered as Helena sat down. Helena put her feet on the arm of the chair. She glanced at the 2 coffee cups on the table for a moment. Did you just have a guest? She asked, still enjoying Ursula's service. There was a student who came earlier. Guidance because she didn't pass my course. Ursula, who was busy, answered. She imagined the student's face again. Why was she only now paying attention to her student? Even though she did not pass it twice. You are a cruel lecturer, Ursula. I can be cruel to you too, Helena. Ursula stuck her finger in. Helena shrieked. Ursula was getting hotter and hotter. What is your student pretty? Helena asked. Yes, she's beautiful, naive. Ursula wanted to tease Helena. But, somehow, Ursula imagined Octava. Ursula pressed her tongue harder, which made Helena go crazy. Ah, did you like it? Is she attractive? Is she sexy? She's attractive but not as tall as you. Her body. Ursula didn't continue her words. She preferred to keep the fantasy to herself. She accelerated the movement of her fingers until Helena couldn't hold it anymore. Yes, I see. Don't stop, Ursula. Don't you dare stop this. Then 3 seconds later, Helena reached the top. Ursula smiled and kissed Helena. She felt guilty for the student. She had never behaved like this before. Never had she imagined any of her students in such a dirty manner. That was extraordinary. Do you want more? Helena asked Ursula. But before Ursula could answer, Helena had pulled Ursula's face into her chest. Ursula licked and sucked. They took off each other's clothes. Let's go inside. It's getting cold in here. Ursula stood up and pulled Helena's hand to follow her. How is your future stepmother? Ursula asked as she opened the bedroom door. I met my stepsister today. Is she annoying? Like in the movies? Not. Not at all. She looks good. Innocent. Her mother is also good. Doesn't look like a mercenary like the girls who approach my father. In that case, thank God. Ursula led her lover to bed. Which one of those toys do you want to play with? Ursula asked her lover. Helena smiled at Ursula. She stood up again, then chose a toy. I want you to close your eyes, then I'll tell you how attractive my half-sister is. Like you told your student earlier. Ursula licked Helena's lips. She was happy. Helena had returned to being a wild Helena. Helena, who she loved before. Microscopic Lust. Chapter 7. Morning at the Gore's house. Helena had just returned home after 2 rounds in the morning with her girlfriend, Ursula. The only child of the billionaire Gores parked her car carelessly in the garage. Her eyes narrow. Her legs felt weak. Her body seemed to fall out in a matter of minutes. Helena was exhausted. After a long time, she and Ursula lost their passion for the quality of simple methods of sexuality. They've tried everything from the missionary position to venturing into discipline, poses, costumes and other toys. Everything is to survive. Everything is to keep their commitment together. They learn from Kama Sutra to all hashtags on illegal to paid sites. Last night was a miracle. And there was nothing else she could think of now other than her messy bed. The smell of heated bread and jam floated in the lobby. Helena had forgotten that it was not only her and her father who lived in this house when she saw Octavia's profile sitting alone at the dining table from behind. Morning, Helena came closer, gently touching Octavia's shoulder so the clumsy girl wouldn't choke on her appearance. She brought her face close to Octavia's cheek. Old man has left. Octavia turned her head, smiling lightly. I have coffee and bread for breakfast. You want? Of course, to the actual homeowner. Octavia was trying to be nice this early. Her stepsister shook her head. All I need now is sleep, and I'm not used to eating before bed. She joked in a tired tone of voice. Where did my old man go? Helen asked again. She forgot what she had asked earlier. Taking care of the wedding with my mother. Octavia felt awkward. She certainly didn't have to remind Helena about the wedding. At first, Octavia thought her mother's second marriage would not bring her peace. However, to this day, the attitude of the groom's family is much better than what is shown on television. The Gore's family is friendlier than her real paternal family. Helena didn't answer. She just nodded as she leaned back in one of the chairs. Her face was pale. Her hair is messy. Her shirt was wrinkled, and there was a small tear at the end of her sleeve. However, the chaos didn't detract from Helena's beauty at all. Her green eyes were still as bright as ever. Only the edges are a bit red. And the lower lids darken. Helena was exhausted. Helena is sleep-deprived. Where is Helena from? Octavia thought. Are you all right? Octavia made sure that it wasn't just her feelings. Sure, Octavia. I need some sleep. Helena put a hand to her forehead. She was silent. Then leave. See you later, by the way. Then Helena walked away, towards the second-floor stairs where all the rooms are lined up. Except for their parents' room. Octavia turned around again. Hey, Helena remembered something. Have you chosen your room yet? Yes, Octavia answered doubtfully. Which one? Helena's voice weakened. Octavia shrugged. The one with the balcony if you don't mind. Helena immediately understood. Oh, I don't mind. Take it easy. She waved and then disappeared down the stairs. Octavia immediately stuffed her mouth with the last bite of the warm bread. She relieved her breath and all the nerves in her body. She still couldn't get used to the contents of this house. She never even got used to talking to her mother. Also, her late father. She's an awkward girl. Introvert. The girl didn't want to feel comfortable anywhere. She was worried that she would be careless and cause trouble. Helena took off her clothes one by one while opening the door. She took a shower, washed her face and brushed her teeth. After drying off, the girl put on her yukata. She intended to smoke another cigarette before hibernation. She looked out the window and exhaled the smoke. Sometimes she smiled to herself when she remembered what had happened to her and Ursula last night. It was like the first time. It was like falling in love. Helen glanced at her cell phone. She had already missed Ursula again. But that person must be teaching now. Ursula will not bring her cell phone when she is teaching. She doesn't want college people to know about her problems and sexual orientation. She doesn't want people's views to change because of who she is. Ursula's a daughter of a rich man. However, she became a lecturer rather than taking care of her father's business. She sacrificed her freedom to be herself for her lofty ideals. Sometimes Helena feels pity, but Ursula's reason and determination are also what make her fall in love. Formerly, Ursula knew what it meant to work hard. Ursula makes Helena better, and the consequence they have to live with is a secret relationship. They do not show affection in public. Even though Gorse knew that Helena was a lesbian from birth, her relationship with Ursula was something more complicated. Helena's thoughts were interrupted by a voice from Octavia's room. She thought the new member of the Gorse house had already left for college. Helena was curious about the girl. She immediately put out her cigarette and followed into Octavia's room, which was not closed. "Hey again, Octavia." Helena felt sorry for her spontaneous attitude. It could be that what she did would annoy this new resident. Octavia was silent when she saw Helena enter her room with her yukata always untied. This girl needs to start getting rid of her filthy habit. "Hey, I just need to get some books before college," Octavia asked for permission. She did not want to be mistaken for a thief, even though she was very interested in the expensive displays in the living room. "Oh, you're busy apparently. Sorry, I didn't mean to, just..." Helena was silent. Her arms were crossed in front of her and covered her chest. A sign that she does not feel comfortable with what she is doing. Octavia drew closer, her brows rising. A sign that Helena should continue her sentence to the end. "Octavia, I haven't apologized for what happened yesterday. I didn't mean to insult you. My father will be against me if I don't have time to apologize. I don't want you to think I'm arrogant. I'm just an only child who is selfish sometimes. I can't keep my mouth shut when I'm not in a good mood. But I really meant no harm to you, or your mother. We will become one family here." Helena was so sleep-deprived that she couldn't keep her mouth shut and stop talking. Octavia frowned. "Which incident?" Then the girl smiled. And that smile made Helena dazzled. Octavia must have been very impressed with Helena's courage to apologize to her. Helena has the right to say anything. Hate her if she wants. Because unlike the case in the Octavia family, Mr. Gorse and Helena's mother are divorced. It's been a matter of years. But still, not many children can accept the presence of a new woman in their home. Helena returned the smile. "Okay then, that's good. Next time, if you are going to your friend's place like yesterday, let me take you, I will all." "My phone, wait a minute." Octavia's cell phone ringing cut off Helena's sentence. Helena nodded. She wanted to say goodbye, but didn't want to bother her stepsister. Helena considered. Then approached Octavia, who was conversing facing the window, the cell phone still to her ear. "I'm going back to my room, Octavia." Helena again put her hand on Octavia's right shoulder, making the girl turn around. Helena leaned closer, wanting to kiss the girl in front of her on the cheek before going to bed. "I am just used to being warm to everyone." "Oh!" Octavia was shocked. Not her cheeks. Helena pecked her lips because Octavia turned too fast. They looked at each other. The word sorry came out of Octavia's mouth first. "I am not sorry for this one." Helena smiled and then walked out of there. Then the ringing bothered Octavia's head. The sound from the speakerphone slowly rose into the air. Sorry. I'm still listening to you, Tan. Yes, hurry up." I'm waiting in front of the house. Don't make me late like yesterday.